Have you ever had a gut feeling that saved you from a bad decision, or a sudden flash of insight that pointed you exactly where you needed to go? We often dismiss these moments as coincidence, but what if they're actually a powerful, untapped source of wisdom guiding our every move? Today, we're diving deep into the science and spirit of intuition, revealing how to listen to your inner compass and unlock profound clarity for life's most challenging choices. The intuition paradox: logic versus gut feeling. All right, imagine this. It's December 20th, 2025. You're at a crossroads. Maybe it's a career pivot you've been agonizing over, or a relationship decision that no amount of pros and cons lists can resolve. You've crunched the numbers, consulted the AI, and yet there's this nagging feeling, this gut instinct telling you to do something completely illogical. Sound familiar? We've all been there, standing at the precipice of a decision where the data just isn't enough. Now, let's be honest. For many of us, that gut feeling immediately gets dismissed. We've been conditioned to trust cold, hard data, analytical reasoning. Anything else feels a bit woo-woo, right? Like something out of a self-help book from the 90s. Completely out of sync with our hyperlogical, data-driven 2025 reality. And honestly, it's understandable why so many people just brush it off as mere superstition. But what if I told you that dismissing your intuition might be costing you your best life? What if that woo-woo feeling actually has a profound scientific basis, backed by cutting-edge neuroscience and countless real-world triumphs? Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll see why ignoring your inner compass might be the biggest mistake you're making in this complex, rapidly evolving world. Unmasking your inner compass, what intuition really is. So, if it's not magic, what exactly is intuition? Forget the mystical connotations for a moment. At its core, intuition is your brain's extraordinary ability to rapidly process an astronomical amount of information. Data points, observations, micro-expressions, past experiences, all happening below your conscious awareness, coalescing into a feeling or an immediate knowing. It's like your subconscious supercomputer delivering a lightning-fast summary, far quicker than any spreadsheet or AI algorithm could articulate. Think about those moments where you've just knew something was off about a situation, or you had a strong pull towards a specific investment that later paid off handsomely. We've all heard stories, or even experienced them ourselves, of that gut feeling literally saving someone from danger or leading them to an unexpected opportunity. These aren't random occurrences, they're echoes of this incredible inherent processing power our brains possess. But here's the critical distinction, and it's one many people struggle with. Intuition is not anxiety, fear, or mere wishful thinking. Anxiety often presents as a tightening in your chest, a sense of dread rooted in hypothetical future events. Fear is a primal response to perceived immediate threat. Wishful thinking is just a desire for a specific outcome. Intuition, however, often feels like a calm, clear knowing, a subtle nudge, or a distinct pull towards something, even if the logical path isn't immediately apparent. Learning to recognize these subtle differences is the first step in truly harnessing this power. Practical steps to tune into your intuition. Now that we understand what intuition isn't, let's dive into how to actually hear what it is telling you. Because in our constantly noisy, notification-saturated 2025, quieting the external chatter to listen to your subtle inner voice is harder than ever. But it's not impossible. One of the simplest yet most profound techniques is mindful breathing. Just a few minutes a day focusing on your breath can dramatically reduce mental clutter and open the channel for intuitive insights to surface. Think of it as recalibrating your internal antennae. For those wanting to really start feeling it, try this. Pick a low-stakes decision. Maybe it's choosing between two dinner options, or which route to take to the grocery store. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and silently ask yourself which feels right. Pay attention to the very first subtle physical or emotional nudge you feel before your logical mind kicks in. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice recognizing these small nudges, the stronger your intuitive capacity becomes. Ultimately, developing stronger intuitive abilities is deeply intertwined with self-awareness and emotional regulation. When you understand your own emotional patterns, your biases, and how stress impacts your thinking, you can better differentiate between genuine intuitive insight and emotionally charged reactions. It's about building a stable inner environment where your intuition can thrive, free from the distortions of unmanaged emotions. This foundation is crucial before we explore some truly remarkable real-life triumphs. Real-life intuition triumphs, case studies, and their lessons. Let's shift from theory to incredible reality. We've seen countless examples throughout history and in our modern world where intuition wasn't just a guide, but the key to success. Think about Steve Jobs' gut feeling that calligraphy was important, leading to beautiful fonts in early Macs, a seemingly irrational decision at the time. Or the investor who walked away from a sure-thing deal at the last minute, only to find out days later it was a massive fraud. These aren't just lucky guesses. In these cases, how did intuition manifest? For Jobs, it was an aesthetic pull, a deep sense of rightness despite no immediate market demand. For the investor, it might have been a subtle feeling of unease, a flicker of discomfort that logic couldn't explain. Often, it's a sudden clarity, a profound knowing, or a subtle but persistent sense of resonance or dissonance. These patterns, a sudden insight, a feeling of certainty, or a deep sense of alarm, are what we can learn to recognize in our own lives, acting as powerful internal signals. It's vital to reiterate, this isn't about developing psychic powers or abandoning logic. It's about understanding that our brains are incredibly complex information processors. Intuition is simply accessing the output of that processing in a way that our conscious, logical mind can't always articulate. It's connecting with a deeper, more holistic level of knowing that considers far more variables than we could ever consciously analyze. And once you begin to tap into it, it's about learning how to integrate it into your decision-making process. Integrating intuition for informed decisions. So, how do we bring this all together? In the complex landscape of 2025, where data is abundant but clarity is often scarce, the most powerful decision-makers aren't just relying on one or the other. They're masters of integrating intuition with logical analysis. Imagine having a powerful AI at your fingertips and then having an even more powerful, deeply personal internal compass guiding you. That's the synergy we're aiming for. It's about using logic to validate and refine intuitive insights rather than dismissing them outright. Here's a practical framework for testing your intuitive hits before acting on them, especially for higher stakes decisions. If you get a strong intuitive nudge, first acknowledge it. Then put on your logical hat. Can you find any data, any external information, or any logical reasoning that supports or confirms this intuitive hit? This isn't about looking for reasons to dismiss it, but about seeking reinforcing evidence. And conversely, if logic leads you down one path but your gut screams no, it's worth pausing and investigating why that internal resistance exists. Often, your intuition has picked up on subtle red flags you haven't consciously registered. Your intuition is a muscle, and like any muscle, it strengthens with use. So I encourage you, start experimenting. Pay attention to those subtle nudges. Journal your intuitive hits and see how they play out. And most importantly, I want to hear from you. Have you had a powerful intuitive experience that changed your life? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's build a community of conscious decision makers who are truly decoding their inner compass for life's most important choices. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more insights, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into optimizing your human potential.